Good evening, guys. This is Coffee Talk with Shining Survivors coming to you from YTUBE Channel 69. How's everybody doing this evening? You guys all have your drink? My drink of choice is coffee, of course. That's my number one choice there. So, hope everybody is doing good today. Hope everything is going smooth. Had a pretty pretty good day myself. It's a good day. Good evening. Good evening tonight. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully everybody is doing good. And we're going to talk about this evening when to walk and when to run. I've been thinking about this subject matter because, one of my favorite songs is The Gambler from Kenny Rogers. Oh, hey, lovely Aussie, Barbie. Hey, guys. Dusty down there. But, I usually talk about, well, not usually, well, any kind of DV situation, but for me, it's, I do a lot of more children, try to do the children stuff, adult stuff in there too. And this one does concern my children. I've kind of thought about it when I was in my relationship with my ex-husband, and I thought, when should I have walked away? That way I wouldn't have had to have run, right? And I should have walked away, before it got, at least to the point of marriage. Probably should have walked away the first or second date, really, when I think back about it. Those red flags that pop up. And for like our children, our, sons and our daughters, because guys are included in this too. I do have a daughter who was in a relationship that I encouraged this relationship. Um, they were together for a little bit of time there, and it had gotten pretty serious. And till one day they finally she had had enough, and there was things that I did not know about, so I couldn't tell her, sweetheart, you need to leave, and I had pointed out some things to her that she didn't realize were red flags. She's like, oh my gosh, it all makes sense now. So with that line of thought, we get conditioned, I think, what stays, between you and your spouse, your partner, it stays between you. What happens in your house stays in your house. What happens in a family stays in the family, right? We hear that. And especially in a relationship sense, is that we do say, you keep it between the two of you. That's y'all's relationship, right? But at what point do we draw a line and say, hey, we need to know what the dangerous things are that are toxic to you, that are toxic in a relationship and are so harmful. And it's those small things that you don't even notice all the time. Or like my daughter had said, she didn't realize it was a red flag until, she's already well into it. And, at that point, it's like she had to run instead of just being able to walk away. I know for me in my marriage with my ex-husband, I had to run, and I left him a couple times. And I was that person that, never thought it would be me. And again, that veil of shame that seems to come with it sometimes. Hey, Charlie, Gloria, I see y'all down there. But, I know we've discussed it before, that a veil of shame where you're looking down, not even looking people in the eye. Hey, Wellen, y'all,
Hey.
that's my baby brother right there. That's my baby brother. So we were just discussing that. Well, okay, I was, because I was by myself up here. I think, did you hear what the topic was?
Surviving or survivors?
Yeah, well, tonight's topic.
No.
All right, I'm glad you're prepared. I'm glad. No, just talking about, when to walk away and when to run. We had to run because we didn't walk. We didn't get out when the first signs came up.
Mm.
which sometimes those first signs are really hard to see because we are, like I said, you're conditioned to keep it a secret, to keep it between you and your partner. And you may not even know. Like, we try to teach our children what's a healthy relationship and what isn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
And look who else is here,
I had to come up see baby brother.
right? See, baby brother. But we condition ourselves, and it's almost like, it's, I was thinking about this. It's generational almost. Like great grandparents kept it between them. This, that. I mean, we're conditioned to do that, right? Like, you don't let the ugly out of the bag. But then, at what point do you say? I think because we do that, we don't necessarily tell our children or let our children know, or your friends or family or whoever, what the dangers are. What are those small red flags that pop up that tell you, walk away, sweetheart? Sugar pie, get out of this because it's going to get nasty. And then, of course, we tell ourselves, well, it's not going to happen. It won't get worse until it does. And then you're running. Like I said, I ended up being that person who was in a shelter with two of my kids, my two oldest, not once, but twice, because my dumb butt went back, holding on to the promises that he was going to be better and that he wouldn't do the, things that he'd been doing. And of course, a year later, I found myself back at that same shelter. And at that point, I swore to myself I would never do that again. So my question is, when do we walk so we don't have to run? And how do we get our children, or not even just our children, y'all? We can be talking about somebody who's been married for 25, 30 years. Their spouse passes away, man or woman, okay? Their spouse passes away and they find themselves going on into another relationship. That could be a very toxic relationship that they've never experienced before. So I know in my mind, a lot of times I think about the younger generation, but it's not just the younger generation. It's, there's elderly community, there's middle-aged people, all ages get in this kind of situation. So to me, how do we break that of keeping those dirty secrets and knowing which ones to tell people? You know what I mean? Like, don't keep it between you and your spouse. You know what I mean? At what point do we do that?
Well, that's a difficult one because it can be hard to trust somebody when you can't trust your own spouse, the person that you have agreed to love to the end of time and that's agreed to love you. Once they're an abusive person or you're just in a toxic relationship, it can be hard to trust others because you've been let down by that one that you love so much.
Yeah.
And you may even still be in love with that person.
Yeah. But to realize that they don't love you back, that's a hurtful one too, because if they did, they wouldn't treat you that way. They wouldn't be abusive. Wouldn't have those things pop up. Hey, Lisa, thank you for joining us. She said she's new to the channel, y'all. Send her some love. Hope you enjoy it over here. We love everybody. So, Waylon, what would you do, baby brother? What would you think?
I guess my view's a little bit different. Well, not a view. It just it's when you just fed up enough to not care about what people think, their opinion, and it's like a fight or flight, and you just have enough of regrets to just say, hey, I'm not going to go through this again.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Or maybe as a parent, sometimes you have to leave for your children's sake.
Yeah, and that can be a lesson to them as well, to learn from that. It's a good point that, my concern is, I teach my girls. 3 of my girls are in relationships now, and 2 of them have been in some pretty rough relationships. One got physical, and she didn't tell us. And I mean, she got out of that relationship real quick when that happened, but she didn't tell us until years later. And, I was glad that she was smart enough to know that that wasn't a way to go. But, thinking about it, I just think, well, I guess we just have to just plain out tell them. I've got my 5-year-old is the last little girl, and am I gonna have to like teach her, all the red flags that could possibly come up, and know that it's not when you see those red flags, it's a gradual thing. It's just kind of a slippery slope, I think, where because we can all have hiccups and we all make mistakes. So you don't just take one mistake somebody does and say this relationship is doomed. So, it's like, okay, but how many slip ups? You know what I mean? 1,
Right.
2, 3, 4. I mean, how many are we supposed to grant them? And how else do we teach our children? I know we can teach them by having an example of a good marriage and a good relationship, period, not just a marriage, but how to treat others.
Right. Yeah, and then the person might in the relationship might not even recognize like emotional abuse.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you were when you told your story. There's not a bruise, so it's not. I'm not a victim of domestic violence.
Exactly.
So there's that too. And as people outside looking in, we can offer our support and our help.
Yeah.
But the person in the midst of it might not see it for what it is.
Yeah. And then it's also hard to see when they're in the midst of it and they're keeping it such a secret. And like, oh, well, this is between us, stay out of it. We'll deal with this. And it just kind of like, well, these are things that are beyond people just staying out of it. It's beyond you need to get out. And so when you don't know that those are situations or those things that are happening are the red flags that are cueing you, baby, walk, because you know what,
Right.
pretty soon you're going to have to start running and you're going to have to be in a dead sprint.
I mean, because a lot of abusers say, like if you do turn to family, it's none of their business. This is, what happens in our house stays in our house. Or, they typically try to isolate you from friends or any kind of support group.
Yeah, they'll even go as far as moving you away from your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine did that. Yeah. And
moving you away, or just simply, oh, you can't go to coffee with this person, or you're talking too long on the phone.
uh-huh.
It could be something as slight like that, where you might not pick it up at first.
Exactly. And see, those are the things that when I look back on going, wow, I should have walked away at that point. If I had known, hindsight's 2020.
Right. Well,
If
that's the truth too.
Yeah. And it's like, I think about it for, our children or, those we love and care about, like how do you see those things, especially when, we're conditioned to keep things between you and your partner.
Right.
We should probably try and get people to maybe not think so, keeping it between you, and like Lisa said, I tried to tell my family of my abuse, but he was one way in public and no one believed me. Oh yes, I definitely understand that, especially around their friends or their family. They're one way, and I know mine actually would go and tell people that I was the abuser. I was the one drinking and doing drugs, and who's like, no, baby, that's you. It's like, wow,
That is true.
Yeah, it's definitely, I don't know, it's just been on my mind a lot lately where it's just been like, oh
Yeah.
man, that's a tough one. And it's not just even, it's not just even in our partnerships as far as like spouses. This can be friendship levels too, because there are
Right.
friendships that are toxic,
Right.
where they're like, no, 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 you can't be friends with anybody else. Oh, I thought you were my best friend, blah, blah, blah. You've
Right.
seen people like that.
Well, I've had some friendships like that myself. Um, a couple actually. Um, and I finally had to just cut ties.
Yeah.
You know, one would say things like, "You hang out with them all the time," or "I'm inviting you over, but they can't come. Your fiance can't come. It just has to be you." And very possessive of my time. And
Yeah. Something so innocent, because at the time you just think it's innocent.
right,
Again, 2020 hindsight,
right. So it can happen in just friendships and any kind of relationship, really.
Yeah.
Parent, child, like you said, friendships, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk away for a minute. I've got something in my eye.
Uh-oh.
I'll be right back.
All right. Lisa said, I got out of the relationship, and of course I was the bad person, but that's okay because I couldn't see it at first. Then when the insults started happening and then the slaps. Yeah. It gradually happens like that. And it's like their expertise, I tell you. Well, I mean, it did in my relationship. That's how it went. It was, a little choke here, slamming against the wall there, pushing you down, doing this and that. But again, to me, it wasn't an actual punch and it didn't leave a bruise. So it was not domestic violence, which let's not even go into the mental and emotional abuse.
Mhm.
Hey, well, and Rocco's down there in chat.
Hey, Rocco.
Oh, yeah, that's another good one. Lisa said she used to hear she must have liked it because she stayed. That's not true either. There's many reasons, which we've, kind of brushed on before. There's many reasons why people stay, and until you're in that situation, you don't know how it is. You don't know what's going on in that person's mind. Even though I've been in a relationship like that, I know what was going on in my mind, but I do not know what's going on in somebody else's mind who's been there. Hey, Rocco. He's one of our brothers. Judo Tap Out's back, y'all. He's out of the hospital. Welcome him back. He was in the hospital for what, 4 days? 4 or 5 days doing the surgery. It seemed like a lifetime Judo was out.
Mm.
So, Ellen, you had any situations like this?
No, because I just left.
You walked, didn't you? You said, I ain't running nowhere, honey.
I'm like, no, the abuse of when I was younger, and then what I seen my sisters go through. I'm just like, I'm not going through this again. So,
Yeah,
you know,
definitely smart. Smart to watch and learn from other people.
I'm sure it's different from a sibling's point of view too, especially a brother with a sister. 'Cause, I know our brothers tend to want to go in fighting. Somebody lays a hand on their sister, first inclination is I'm going to beat his ass.
Yeah.
And sometimes that you try to protect your abuser.
Yeah. See, that's another rabbit hole we could go down.
Right.
Why do we feel we need to protect them? I don't know. as children, it's protecting usually the parents or a family member, you know.
Right.
What's the point of that, you know?
You know,
Yeah,
that like with sexual abuse, some of why I didn't come forward for years, and actually not until my adult years, um, especially younger. We had a biological father that I knew would shoot somebody. And so part of the fear is that he would retaliate against someone that had molested me and that I would lose him. You know, he would
yeah,
end up in prison or it's a very real fear. And I've often thought of that and protecting my own children, the things that I say to them, like, somebody ever touches you, I'll kill him.
mm-hmm.
You know, and that in some ways can work against what you want to happen. You want them to be able to come forward and tell you things. And
Yeah. Again, those things that we say out of love and compassion sometimes can have a adverse reaction to them, you know, where they'll kill him. Oh, we can't do that, you know. Yeah, I agree with that. And Lisa says, make sure to understand that men can be victims as well as women. Yeah.
exactly, men
Yeah.
can be.
Yeah, they definitely.
I have seen that, definitely. With my own son, my youngest son,
Mm-hmm.
very abusive relationship. And, I mean, she would beat the shit out of him. And the
Yeah.
one time he shoved her away from him, she called the police and he was arrested. You know, just trying to shove her to get away from her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's kind of another rabbit hole to go down. That really
Mhm.
is, you know,
That's the
where
perception of men aren't abused.
mm-hmm. Exactly. Rocco says, Glow, eye safety first.
Oh, Rocco's on here?
Yeah. Oh, you,
Well,
you
tell him to click the link
hit the leak, baby, hit the leak.
or send another one down for him.
Charlie says, hey, Rocco, sure do love your sisters. Okay, what's Lovely say? She said, it can be very hard to be in any kind of relationship, family, friends, loved ones. If there is abuse, it is very hard to get out of it. You don't have people you can turn to that understand. Yeah, that can be really hard too. In to have that understanding. You know, sometimes you just need someone to hear you that is kind of like, hey, I'm on your side, man. I've been through what you've been through. I had this and this situation happened to me, and I kind of get where you're coming from, you know, and just it's a hard one, you know.
Yeah, it is. And, I think Rocco should come up. He's been in a toxic relationship. But that's his story. It's his story.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I'm gonna post it and see if you come up. I don't know. You couldn't even get him to stand in front of the camera for 2 seconds for me. Although he was making me a pot of coffee at your house, so that was really good.
He's
But
probably just here to troll anyway.
yeah, Rocco probably could, that's probably true. But yeah, I know. But no matter what, you can get out of those bad relationships and end up on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think like you said, knowing that you're not alone in the situation, whoever it is, and as far as men and women, I really think that it's harder for men to stand. Just what I'm seeing is it's harder for men to stand up and say, this person did this to me, because society, the way we condition men and women, are whether we like it or not, men are the
It's
big strong ones, women are the victims, if but that's not the truth. There are women out there who abuse anybody, men, women, just like men will abuse anyone, men and women. Some men only abuse women because they're afraid of other men. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't stand up to them.
Right.
So it's just really, Rocco,
Yeah.
he doing nothing but putting laughing faces up there, y'all. He laughing at us.
Come up, Rocco. I'm gonna have Sheldon call you.
Call him up. Call him up. Well, you know, and the other day, y'all, I gotta say this. I was a witness firsthand. I have this I guess we'll call it a support group. I had this group of women and men that, you know, very you know, lift each other up and really support each other. And there was a situation. And I watched them handle it with such grace. And it wasn't met with grace. It wasn't met nicely. But the way they handled themselves was an inspiration that I had wished so many people could see. They stood up to someone, they were speaking the truth, and it was just such an awesome thing to see. And I just really I enjoyed being able to have a front seat to that and to see
Right.
how they dealt with things and how they, you know, spoke and they did things, and it was really awesome to have a front seat to that.
Right. I hear Sheldon's phone ringing.
Judo tap out? What you mean? Or if Don Will's dog's butts? Oh no.
Sheldon, could you bring me my water?
Is that the abuse you're talking about? Don Will has his way with dogs from what I hear. That's what I heard
Oh.
today. Yeah. It's not good. Not good. It was kind of disturbing actually. So
Rocco told me to bring you water. Why am I on the phone with
Rocco said, bring Gloria her water.
I hear she's calling you for it.
He didn't hear me. Rocco did.
Yeah.
Could you open it for me too?
Yeah, and I know things that, you know, happen in childhood, I think do kind of
God.
hold on to adulthood for sure, you know?
That's true. It can, you can either kind of repeat things from childhood as far as getting into bad relationships, or maybe it wisens you up, like Waylon here.
He said that right.
Hi,
Yeah.
Riley. Riley.
Hey, Riley girl.
Hey, Riley.
There you go.
Because
Waylon, he left what was toxic, whether it was a friendship or relationship. He knew to get away.
Wow, that's a pretty good life.
yeah,
That's
he,
like
you know, I was thinking kind of like, you know,
between them saying hi, Riley.
you endure things in childhood,
Tell him to
and
go
then
on.
when you get into an adult relationship, all of a sudden it's you kind of compare it and you're like, well, it's not as bad as my childhood, so this can't be abusive.
Right.
You know, I think it had adverse, you know, different effects like that.
Well, I remember being in a very emotionally abusive relationship for about 15 years. And it was you that pointed it out to me. This is our biological father all over again. And I didn't see it, you know, until after you had pointed that out.
Oh my gosh, I pointed it out.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, me. Okay.
And it still took me forever to get out, you know, because it wasn't physical abuse. There was physical abuse one time where he went to choke me, and I brought my knee up between his legs as hard as I could.
Good job. Good job. Good job. No, I'm glad you're out of that relationship, you know, because, you know, we do focus so much on the physical that if it's not physical violence and they're not punching you, then, you know, I don't know. In my mind, that's how it equaled out. And then, but there's so much other, the mental and the emotional is so damaging. And that's what it gets you to the point. Remember, I know I was talking one night about they get you under their thumb and they work on you and they do the mental and the emotional. Hold on one second.
Waylon, this is where you usually sing whenever she's off. Somebody sings,
I didn't hear the rendition of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Oh, sorry, I was getting called out. Hey, says, did you spill coffee in here? No. If I did, I didn't know.
Not me.
I'm not the only one who drinks coffee in this house.
Just the only one that drinks it excessively.
Yeah, probably at night. Him and Ronnie will drink it in the morning sometimes, but let's see. Judo Tap Out said that feeling of shame you're left with causes all that for future. And now it's used to and slides back. It slides back in. Yeah. Yeah. Got a way of sneaking up and biting you.
You know, with that bad relationship, I had packed up my stuff so many damn times. I'm just fed up with it. But even the dysfunction was stability to me. I was so afraid of being on my own. And I don't know why, because I'm the one that supported us. I was on my own the whole time in reality. But there was so much head games that I thought that I couldn't survive without him. And my biggest fear is having an unstable environment for my children, because we had such an unstable childhood that I thought I was breaking that cycle by staying and keeping that stability there.
Yeah.
When really it was just such abuse that by the end of the 15 years, I felt literally invisible. I didn't feel just ugly. I felt invisible. Like nobody would see me.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. You get to a point where you feel like you're nothing, you're nobody. You know, and those are the games they play. That's how they want you. That's how they can control you and do the things that they do, you know? Barbie said, yeah, she spilled the coffee. She cleaned it up. She said, yes, I did. I cleaned it up.
I spilled the coffee and clean it up. So
Yeah.
mind your business.
Thank you, Barbie. I'll tell him, mind your business. Barbie got that up. Don't worry. Yeah, Judo Tabet said, your guard drops. Yeah, yeah. Which, you know, that's kind of sad that, you know, you have to be guarded in a relationship. But I think when you come and you've had that kind of abusive relationship, your guards are up.
Right. And what's really funny, with my ex, you can't change a narcissist. So he's the same narcissist. I can get along with him in little bits of time, but I'm actually friends with his now girlfriend. And there was one night, she called me and it was late at night and she came over. She just needed to vent. And some of the things that he did that made me feel like a disgusting human being, or just the ugliest thing in the world, he does to her. It's the same exact things. And so it was hard for me to give her advice except to say that I went through it too. And when you're ready to get out, you will. I mean, she said the same things, like, I can't make it on my own. I can't afford to. She's the only one working. Same scenario.
Yeah, but she can't afford to make it on her own. What you mean you can't afford with one less person?
Right.
You know? But that's where he wants her. That's where he's got her.
Right. Like, I didn't drive in our relationship. And he's pretty much taken over her vehicle where he drives all the time. And that sounds kind of petty, but it's now if my fiance and I get in a little argument, I get pissed off, I just grab my car keys and go for a little while.
Yeah.
Even if I just drive a half a block down the road to this park and just sit there for
Yeah.
15 minutes. And, it's usually me being a bitch or something. So I, have to wind down. But once you're not driving, there's not a lot you can do. You can't just go and get away.
Yeah. Well, it's a huge one. It's not something little because it's a form of control. If they've got the keys, they've got the license, and you don't, they've got the freedom to get out.
Right.
And they know that you don't. Well, you're here until I take you somewhere, or you're going to be walking.
And there was a lot of shame because before that relationship, I wouldn't have put up with that kind of shit after my marriage ended. I had a boyfriend that pulled the plates off of my car. Now you can't go anywhere. And I said, F, I can't. Hopped in that car and left anyway, no plates.
Yeah.
Drove from Lewiston over to Clarkston to my cousin's.
You got out of there regardless, man.
Yeah. So they do things like that. My cousin's husband, late husband, pulled all the spark plugs from her car once just to keep her there.
Yeah, my ex-husband would do that. He'd go and take stuff out of the car.
Right.
Yeah. See if you go anywhere now, B. Huh.
Yeah. I mean, so there was a lot of shame that I didn't leave sooner. I still have a lot of guilt over that. So my children, I carried my children through that whole toxic relationship, and I've since watched my daughter get in one abusive relationship. She did learn something, but she's a hell of a lot stronger than I was at that age.
Yeah.
She takes no shit from anybody. I have to say that.
Yeah. And that's what we can hope for our kids.
Right. So that positive came out of it, but they did have to see me go through that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they were strong for me, which meant that I was absent sometimes in that relationship because, again, invisible.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. And then the realization that the shame is not yours to hold.
Right.
The shame is solely on their shoulders.
Like when I first left him, I paid the rent. He stayed in the house for a month. I stayed on my friend's floor with my babies. And after that month, he was able to move out of the house and we moved back in. I didn't know how to adjust the heat in my house. I was, never allowed to decide how warm the house was.
Yeah.
But I went hog wild on decorating because anytime I would decorate or rearrange the furniture, I'm not kidding, the next day he would change it to how he wanted it. It always looks stupid how I did it, or granted, I decorate with the flare. A little sparkly.
Yeah. A little splash of color,
Splashes of color and probably a little too girly, but not really.
Yeah.
Looking back at, it was just control.
Yeah. Well, I know my ex-husband, there was no decorating of the house. That wasn't allowed because that was money that would have dipped into his alcohol fund. And, again, that, control. because for
Right.
them it's a lot about control. So, you know, like I said, where do you warn your kids about it?
Right.
And to teach them that these are the things that if they happen in a relationship, you know, you need to walk out and get out.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's hard when you see a loved one going through it, and, you know, and you know, I was thinking too, is like, you know, that, you know, hey, when we walk away, when should we walk away? When should we run? That looks different for everyone, right? No, it absolutely should not look different for everyone. I thought about that. Should not look different for everyone. As soon as someone shows signs that they're abusing you, mentally,
Right.
emotionally, or physically, everyone should be on the same page and say, I'm out. See you later.
Right.
You know, because when you tolerate a little, it's going to keep on coming. It doesn't stop. And it's true what they say, you know, when you're going through it and somebody says that to you, you're like, no, it's not going to get worse. It's not going to escalate. It's not going to happen. And then it does. You're like,
It doesn't get better.
yeah, like crap, they were all right. Could I just have been right this one time? You know,
Right.
Lisa said, I carried shame for a long time. And one day I got mad and told myself, no, I won't carry what he did. Exactly. Exactly, Lisa. It's not our shame to hold on to. And there is nothing shameful from walking away from an abuser and saying, I am stronger than this. I am better than this. And I do deserve to have peace in my life. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. The shame is on them that you had to walk away from them.
Right.
Or run. If you're like me and you're a fool and you go back to them, dead sprint, shoom, you know.
Well, like mine, I was helping a Native American girl, helping her learn how to be a mother. She was having a difficult time. She had a fetal alcohol effect herself. So
Yeah.
she didn't really ever have a mother, and she was very sincerely wanting to be a good mother to her little baby. And so I took her under my wing and was helping her. You know, we made schedules and went over just the basics, even getting up with the baby and whatnot. Anyhow, I was at the computer and I was going to show her a picture of something, and I clicked on a file, and there was all this nude girl, and I was like, oh Jesus, it's his porn. And like, sorry about that, Ginger. And one picture caught my eye, and the girl was stressed. And then a video. I won't say what was happening in the video, but it was the girl he was talking to. Yeah. I don't, you know, it's sad to say, but it took that for me to wake up and realize he's got you thinking you're just the homeliest thing in the world, and that it's my fault that everything's so chaotic, and yet he's talking about leaving and going with another woman. And so when he was just out on an errand, and I'm not proud of this, I'm actually pretty ashamed of it, but when he walked through the door, you know, I sent Ginger and the baby upstairs, and I beat his ass all the way from the back of my house and out the door. It's like, how dare you, 15 effing years of emotional turmoil, being told I'm ugly, fat, stupid, you don't have anybody. It all just came out. And so in that case, technically I was the abuser, but I had enough. And later that day, he came back to the house, and I grabbed my kids and we were leaving, because he refused to leave. And even then he said, I said, I'm leaving you, and it's done. Yeah, right. Like, I've heard you say that 100 times before.
Yeah.
You'll be here as long as I need you to be.
Mm-hmm.
And he should have I'm glad he said that to me. I was just going to say he shouldn't have said that, but I'm glad he did because it just hardened my resolve. Like, okay, effer, you know.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you really sealed it for me this time. I'm gone.
It's like you're right. I have said it 100 times before, and this is going to be the time that I mean it, and I did.
You're like,
It was not easy.
make this 101 in final.
Final.
You're like,
Final
you
version.
remember 101 Dalmatians? Baby, there you go. Lovely says, sometimes it just takes a little time to realize you have to get up and go. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's that looks different for everyone. It does. But I'm saying it. Just think it shouldn't. It should be like, hey, if they do this or this or this, you get up and walk away. Go, get out. You know.
Right. And then they put up that public persona that's so different.
Oh yeah, that was the sickening part. But eventually, in public, they will let themselves look bad too.
Especially the narcissist.
Yeah.
So my ex couldn't keep his mask on all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. They come off. I remember one time, and this was towards the end of the marriage, and y'all, I was a lot thinner back then. I looked good, right? And here he is. He was quite a bit older than me. 13 years older than me. Had gray hair. Wasn't the best looking guy out there, okay? Just saying. And I remember just one time we had gone into, I think it was Applebee's. I'm pretty sure it was Applebee's. And the waitress comes over to take her order, and he was blatantly flirting with her to get at me, And I was just sitting there almost in tears. And she was really sweet, and she knew what he was doing, and you could tell she was so irritated with him, she would hardly even look at him. She would always address me, and it just made me feel so little and so stupid, and wishing I was invisible at that point. And that was the last time I ever went out to a restaurant with him. And like I said, that was very near the end, and I know I had a situation when I was a waitress, after I had left and I had to go home to my mom, y'all. I had to live with my mama for a little while, me and my two oldest. And I went and I worked right up the street at a little restaurant, and this guy came in and he was flirting. Sorry, excuse my language, total asshole. Okay. His wife was sitting there, and all I could think was that was me just a couple years ago. And I remember exactly how she was sitting there looking like she felt was exactly how I had to have been looking like and sitting there feeling. And I didn't even look at him. Every time I would walk up, I would talk to her. And,
Right.
she was kind of dodging around like, oh no, and that's a horrible way to be, because you done put two people in a very awkward position.
Right.
And all I can think of is, I can't stand you. You are like my ex-husband. And I just thought, how is her home life? And I hope she gets out.
I have a similar story, but it was actually kind of funny now. But my ex and I were at a bar. This is before I was ever pregnant with our son. And he was checking out this really cute blonde girl. And she ended up coming to our table, and he is flirting relentlessly. And she totally came on to me. I just flat out told him, I didn't come to your table to talk to you. I came over to talk to her. And asked if we were a couple. And she's like, if you weren't a couple, I'd take her home. And so for the longest time, I said, yeah, how do you feel that your girlfriend was picked up by the hottest chick in the bar?
She wasn't coming after you.
It was like a big blow to his ego, but it was one of the shining moments for me.
I would have used that for a long time.
And
Probably,
I probably should have ran off with her.
you might still be with her. Who knows?
Yeah.
Lisa said, and I'm reading these because I know you can't, Gloria.
Okay.
The insult started coming out with him saying I was just joking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's real truth there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you're taking it too serious. You're too dramatic. You're too sensitive.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Barbie's back. She had to leave for a second, probably to go clean up the coffee that I didn't know I spilt. Thank you, Barbie. Judo Tap Out says, true colors always come to the top. Might take a while, but always do. Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
Charlie Girl said, love it, Glorianne.
Yeah, that was a good moment, actually.
Yeah. It's, those hard moments, that, a lot of hard things, but there are things that you can look back on, kind of chuckle about that. Like, I know one time I was coming home, we had nursing school. My friend Heather and I, we rode in together, right? And she was driving that, she was driving that day. And so we come into the house, she comes out and we always get there and smoke cigarettes and drink coffee, and we were only gone for like 3 or 4 hours. It wasn't a full day or anything. And he's sitting outside. She still tells this story. She's one of my ones that's always had my back. She's been through abusive relationships and she lives out there in Washington. And gotta love her. He gets out and he starts in on me. Some stupid bull crap. I don't even remember what he said, but it set her off. And she said, oh, really? You're the piece of shit sitting out here drinking and it's not even noon yet. Because he had his beer sitting there on the front porch. I said, oh gosh, Heather, you gonna get my ass beat. Quiet. But yeah, she kind of had a few words for him. She was one of the friends that always was, she couldn't stand him.
Yeah. And that's why they isolate you, is they don't want to have to deal with the friends.
Yeah.
They put them in their place.
Yeah, and he didn't like her at all, but she never left. We're still friends to this day. So
Good.
it's okay. He's gone. But she isn't. So
Yeah, thank God he's gone.
yeah, I couldn't imagine still being with, oh my gosh. And the sad thing is if at some point he had just stopped, I probably still would be married to him. I'm just kind of one that kind of sits there and like, okay, I'm here for the long haul. Ask Brian. He's probably ready to shake me loose sometimes.
Yeah.
Dusty said, you both are amazingly strong women and I admire your courage. Hey, man, Dusty, we get some of that strength from you, woman.
Yeah, Waylon, you don't know many people in the chat, but almost all of them are survivors of some of them of some pretty horrific abuse.
Well, if they need to get rid of the bodies, I got the truck to do it.
Yeah.
And Waylon's really strong. He's one of those ones with all that strength that we talk about.
Yeah.
He could pick a dead body up like nothing.
And we're from a pretty remote area in Idaho, so.
Oh, gosh, guys.
And I got some remote property, so.
Yeah. Yeah, where Waylon is now, he's not back home here, but yeah, he's got some property to store some bodies.
Lots of them.
Holiday.
But
Dusty said, "You are the same." Aw, I love you, Dusty. Charlie girl, freaking warriors, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, Dusty's got shovels.
I know a few people that got backhoes, so
we good. We good. Yeah, my friend that I was just talking about, I'm still friends with today. She always tells me, she goes, you know, you can call me. I'll give you one call. One call. You tell me what you need me to bring. Bag, shovels, gloves, whatever. She says, I'll be on the first plane out. She said, okay, maybe twice if you really need me to. It's just a funny joke we have between each other. And before anybody gets crazy, my ex is still alive that I know of. Okay.
Yeah.
Charlie girl said, I'm loving you already, Waylon. Yeah, you know, we all come from the same cloth. We kind of have the same sense of humor. I think Waylon's is probably not as bad as Gloria and Candy and I, though.
well, my coworkers probably say otherwise, but
He's a little more gentler around us, I guess. Jenna, you're not late, sweetheart. You're here when you're supposed to be here, remember? I'll drop the link if you want to come up. If I can. Okay, here we go. There it is. Jenna said, hey, everyone. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of amazing stories out there, Waylon. Brian actually he listens to these when he's at work driving around, and I have him held captive in his truck. Yeah, he's got to listen then, but he always he was cracking me up. One day he came in and he was like, man, I listened to your YouTube that you did. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, it wasn't even boring. And I was like, oh, thanks. He was like, no, he said it was really good. And it was, I think the first one he listened to was the one Judo Tap Out was on. And he was so inspired. Well, no, he'd listened to him before. That there was a couple of them he was really inspired by, and Lovely was one of them he was really talking about. And then Judo Tap Out, he was like, I really want to meet him. He sounds like such an amazing person, so of course, the more he listens, he wants to meet everyone, but I tell him they're my people. No, I'm just kidding.
My fiance is infatuated with Lovely.
Really? The German accent? It's the German accent, isn't it?
Yeah, he loves listening to her talk, and he's just always like, I don't know what it is about her. I just love hearing her.
Oh,
she just sounds so genuinely sweet. And it's like she is.
She is, and she's amazing to there's Jenna's journey, which is how we all met. A lot of us met. And to be able to see her evolve. She really is like a phoenix. She is coming out and she is on fire. And I'm not trying to talk about your story too much, Lovely, but I hopefully you don't get upset with me, but she had said one time how she thought her words didn't mean anything. And that just really, I think about it now and it just breaks my heart because she's so amazing. And the things that she has to say, it's like people stop and listen to her because she's so wise and she is so good with it and has, it's just stop and listen, and for her to have been so quiet for so long just breaks my heart. But I'm so glad that she isn't now. It's awesome. It's just amazing.
She's got a beautiful voice now. And that's going to go a long ways in not only helping us right here, but it's going to go a long ways in helping other people in general.
Yeah.
As well as everyone,
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting
It's
your voice is a major thing.
what, Charlie girl. Oh, yeah.
See,
Charlie girl said, "Hey, don't let her sweetness fool you. I had no idea she could cut a bee if need be."
yeah.
She's joking, but that's funny. Yeah, and Jenna, she's speaking beautifully now. She is. It's just awesome. It's like, whoa, you know, it's good to see that. Oh no, Jenna agrees with Charlie girl. She's a for real Charlie girl.
Well, and that just
No.
speaks to her strengths.
Yeah, she's got a lot of it.
I mean, sometimes when you leave an abusive situation, you might go a little overboard as far as uh, being quick not to put up with anybody's shit.
Yeah, that's still, even after all these years, there, you know, we talk about those, the triggers. When you're triggered,
Yeah.
sometimes it is that knee-jerk reaction. And I'm still working on, hey, hold back. Does this call for you to have such a quick reaction, so severe? You know those Karen moments that you get. Not that I myself really do that, but no, seriously, I do. Yeah, and like Dusty said, shit, I probably scared everybody off today. Nope, sure didn't. Yeah, I enjoy hearing anyone who stands up and speaks their mind and speaks truth, you know?
I do too.
Yeah.
Because I think
Lisa
we're
said
all
this.
continuously healing.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight. Um, it's good in a group to see people in different levels of healing.
Yep.
Where people are fresh out of a situation, go into the
Yeah.
situation, or somebody that's worked hard on recovering for years.
Yeah.
You know, it's inspirational to see that there is light on the other side. There is hope. You know, people break the cycle.
Yeah. And to be able to trust others and to lean on others when you're at your most, I don't want to say most vulnerable, but it feels like you're at your most vulnerable. And you're like, I couldn't trust the person that I supposedly loved and he supposedly loved me, or she, whichever one, you know. Those times and trust is lost and you're just like, I don't trust anyone. And I think that's like a common denominator in a lot of us, that it's like, I don't trust you. And especially when you go through childhood, you learn very early on, trust is, you don't trust no one. You only got yourself. Especially if it comes from your parents, you know, because your parents aren't going to save you. They're the ones doing it to you. So that trusting that you can find people to lean on that are going to support you and, you know, to help you say, hey, you need to walk. Don't wait until you have to run. You got to walk. You need to get on out now.
Yeah. Because oftentimes that, you know, the toxic relationships start in childhood, but it, unfortunately, as a child, you can't just get up and leave the toxic relationship.
Exactly.
Between a parent and child, and that goes a long ways in things you do as an adult that repeat the cycle, or you just stay kind of caught up in it.
Yeah. Or we can rise above it and say, hey, this isn't right. Let's stand up and try and be an advocate for children who can't speak up for themselves. And it's having that courage to make the calls and to do what you think is right. And when you know, and I'm not saying, like some people call CPS because they're mad at somebody. No, you're abusing the system. Don't do that. If you really think that a child is being abused, stand up and say something. You know they're not getting food like they need to get. They're getting beat black and blue all the time. That things are happening that shouldn't be happening. They're being left home alone. They're unsupervised because you're drunk and high and passed out on the couch, or on the floor or wherever you land, But that's funny you said all that because Lisa had said this channel is so important not only for survivors but the ones still in an abusive relationship. And then you had gone on a tangent, which I know you can't read these because you don't have your reading glasses on. So
even if I do, I have to. I can't see general chat, but I'd have to get up there like this. And my luck, that's where it would freeze up and be like.
Yeah. Right. You'd be frozen on the screen.
Waylon, I was on a panel one time and my face froze and it was like, I can't, let me see. And even when I got off, my picture was still up there.
Hey, Jenna's in the house. Jenna.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
I think we could.
Jenna, this is our baby brother, Waylon.
Oh, hey, Waylon.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I didn't know I was going to live again, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about you. I heard about you being on the live.
Yeah.
Yeah, your older sister has a big mouth.
Yeah.
You're much older sister, not me.
I'm like, I don't need my job to find out.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
But it is what it is. I mean, hey, they
Right.
find out. Well, oh wow.
Well, we ain't saying anything about it, so we ain't gonna
Well,
get you in
it's
trouble.
good. It's a good thing what you're doing. So I'm not gonna say anything about it.
Yeah. Dusty said her hair is still tied in a tight puffed. Man,
Is it doing a tight puff?
she needs to loosen it, man, because that stuff's going to be here for the next century. She was whipping it around.
How's she gonna get a headache?
I know she probably already does.
You just go bald like me.
Right?
So either you loosen it or go bald. No.
It's probably so tight she can't even get her arms up to loosen it up.
Oh man, I missed the whole turn whipping of it, but
Yeah, that was funny. It was funny. Charlie girl, you good? You started to get me in trouble. Dusty, you get yourself in trouble. Charlie don't help though. Yeah, look, she's saying that's the plan. Oh, gosh.
I think we all get each other in trouble. But I really am the laid back one. People think I'm the one that'll fight. I think y'all are.
Well,
No, I mean, I just bury the bodies and have the vehicle to do it.
Watch out where to go.
Like, I always tell my coworkers, I'm like, I'm number one. Just call me. I'll run them over.
Oh man, I need his number.
We'll get you in we'll tell you next time, hey, I know a guy.
Right?
You're like, hey, I think I might know him too.
Is it gonna be
Last thing you'll see is you'll see a flash of green, and that's it.
Must have been a John Deere.
Dang John Deere. Oh man, I missed the whole thing, didn't I?
Of what? Her being Japanese?
No, you're live. You've been live for an hour.
That's okay. No, we were just talking about
No, it's not.
when
I just
to
woke up.
when to run, when to walk away, and when to run. You have to run because you didn't walk. But
Yeah.
then, how do we tell our kids and other people, all ages, those signs, those red flags, that kind of stuff,
Oh my word.
Dusty said, me and your bro would make a good team. Shit. All the hair that he doesn't have, she has.
Right?
She's got a lot of it.
Right.
Oh, crap. She said, he does the dirty work. I take care of the brains.
Hey, that's good. That's good. I mean,
Look at Aussie. She's saying the only angel here.
No, that's my
Mhm.
Aussie.
She probably
She's not
is.
really. She's
No,
not.
but
She's lovely. I love her to death, man. I'm telling you. I love all y'all to death.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling him, you missed it. I was telling him the other day that there was an issue that happened, and I got to witness firsthand, front row seat, of two very strong women who I was just in awe of the way they handled the situation and the way they spoke. And it wasn't met with the same grace, but grace was definitely given by both of them. I'm not naming any names or anything, but I was just in awe of the way it was handled, and I haven't said anything yet, I don't think, but I was just really impressed with the way two people handled it. The two women that it was awesome to see, and I wish everybody could have seen it.
Can you please type in back chat so I know what we're talking about?
Well, I mean, it was just a situation where somebody was coming at him sideways, and
Oh, okay.
they were, these two women were accused of going at that person sideways, and it absolutely was not. It was like, are you kidding me? They spoke with grace and poise, and they told the truth, and the other person didn't want to acknowledge it.
Okay.
That's all. That's all. I'm just saying, I was very impressed with those two.
Aw. He does dirty work, and I take care of the fruits.
Well, we could just, drove over him and dumped the body.
Well, there's a lot of wild hogs.
Yeah, my property probably has a lot of them.
Yeah.
Or just dump it out to the neighbors.
Yeah. Dusty said she did her bow so tight that her brows got pointed. Ooh, she did too, though. Oh, Jenna, you should have seen her wrapping it. I was like, ouch. I mean, I was feeling that all the way over here.
I missed it.
I'm glad she wasn't doing my hair at the time.
Right?
I'll be looking like my baby brother over there.
Doing some of our hair at the time, yeah. Like wrapped it
up. Like, okay, stop.
You're out. That hurts.
There was one time this woman I was at my friend's house apartment. My kids and I were ready for the pool, and some woman came at my oldest son sideways. And then I had shorter hair, and so I'd wear those hair pieces that you just clip in. And I had long black hair and my hoop earrings in. And my friend was in the apartment, and you could see the pool from her apartment. And she's mixing us a drink. And she said she watched me take that hairpiece off and set it on the table and out with the hoop earrings. And she's like, once I saw that, I had to come running. Get his hair off, or get his earrings out, and come on, bitch. And say, what to my child?
Oh, Dusty, I'll say this, AJ. That's all. I'll tell you later, AJ. And she said it wasn't that bad. Dusty, remember when Jenna was brushing her teeth and it was so loud? Yeah, it was that bad.
That was too funny.
And she was rapping and rocking like nobody's business. Yeah, she was rapping and rocking. She was. Rapping and rocking.
I see he in the corner.
Just say something about him. He'll show up and he'll say, I wasn't even here. Y'all talking about me.
Lord.
So did your brother tell a story?
No, he's been pretty quiet over there.
He's just been sitting there looking tough.
He's just trying to remember how to drive that tractor. He's like, I got this.
I got the backhoe.
Well, I have a coworker that everybody doesn't get along with her. I was like, look, just name it. Just name the time. I just flip her on the right side. Boom. They're like, no, Coop, you can't do that. I'm like, well, I have a whole lot of property to bury the body. And they were like, you know what? I believe that you're serious. I'm like, well, hey, why not?
Ozzy said, don't say his name. I'm having a quiet afternoon.
Is he like Beetlejuice? I'm gonna say his name 3 times. He'll appear. Spirit time. Spirit time. Spirit time.
Barbie
Yeah.
says, well, and I'll remember that. I'll call you. Better answer your phone. Barbie's got plans.
I'm just gotta get a special tow rope so that I can pull vehicles in silence.
Okay. And you can bury the vehicle too, huh?
Oh yeah, like one of my coworkers, like, oh yeah, the truck you got, you can pull out pretty much anything. So I'm like, yeah, that bitch wants to get at my parking spot. Like, okay, I'll just,
I heard you can dig holes in the road and just like put the car down in there.
Oh gosh.
yeah.
He says, you take my parking spot again.
Oh God, Waylon. Is this the one whose parking spot you took?
I'm
You've
like
been
this.
taking her parking spot for weeks now.
Charlie girl said, doodle man, doodle man, doodle man.
Even when the month and a half that she wasn't there, I was still taking the parking spot.
Oh man.
She got to walk another 10 car lengths now.
Oh man. But all the people that work there, and they were like, that's your parking spot. Who in the hell does she think she is? I'm like, I don't know, but her truck is gonna go. So,
Dusty said, don't forget the lie.
oh no. See, I had a friend of mine. Well, not a friend, but
Don't give away sources now.
but let's just say she was on the run, and I didn't realize the whole story until the end. And she goes, as long as you tell a little bit of the truth in the lie, you'll never forget the lie. And weeks later, I'm like, well, maybe she's right. And then I found out she went to prison. So I guess
She must not have told the truth with that lie.
She must have forgot her truth.
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Oh,
But
man.
she's out now. But yeah, I'm like, well, you obviously forgot something.
Ozzy said, been watching all the floods we are having at the moment. They're one suburban away from my granddaughter keeps ringing to ask me to stop the rain. I swear she thinks I'm God. Well, Ozzy, have you not stopped the rain yet?
Is it raining really bad?
Well, if there's floods, I would think so, Jenna. Yeah, she said they're having really bad floods.
Oh man.
Well, we just got to contact the mob.
Suburb away. I said suburban or Subaru, didn't I? Oh my gosh. They're one suburb. Y'all read the chat yourselves. Because I can't, apparently.
Still can't.
Okay, well,
Oh
Yeah.
my word.
she's a half of Queensland is underwater.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Well,
That's not good. Fly your granddaughter and then back over there.
Well,
yeah.
I got the special wheels, I can put them on the truck and
Float on over and get you.
float on there. Might
You
run
gotta,
out of fuel by then, but you know.
you gotta
Nah,
go all the way to Australia.
we'll row some of the way. That's what we could do is row some of the way. And then we'll have a bunch of gas cans in the back. Sorry, y'all have to have clothes when you get here. You'll have to buy new clothes, but
row. You're
truck over to Australia.
Well, we'll just go on the ship and go there.
Well, that we can put on our wish list.
Well, just put it on Uncle Sam's credit card.
We spoke him up. Hey, Spirit Time.
Oh crap!
You're
Sorry,
supposed to be in the
Ozzy.
corner.
That's all thanks to Charlie Girl. Charlie Girl did that. Doodle man, doodle man, doodle man. Hey, did it work to send him back?
Hmm.
Right. She's still got her mind. Dusty.
Gentlemen,
Untighten the ball. Untighten the ball.
who said his name? Charlie Girl. She said it 3 times while looking in the mirror backwards.
And he is awake. I see, Dusty. I'm sorry.
He said his ears were burning. Who said my name?
Yes, they were.
Dusty said she's still in that mood. Well, if you loosen up your hair, you might get out of that mood.
Just loosen it up. Just let it down and whip it, girl. Whip it.
I don't know if she whips it as hard as she put it up there, she gonna knock herself out.
She might knock a hole in the wall.
Be like, uh-oh.
I said your name 3 times, and I think Charlie Girl said your name 3 times.
Oh, you said it too, Jenna? Oh,
Yeah,
well.
I said spirit time.
Oh, when she was
It's
doing
still
the
there?
other one, doodle man, doodle man, doodle man.
Yeah.
I know she spoke it when she typed it.
Right? Better than your doodle burning.
Look, she said you skipped my comment about the lie. Notice my spelling. Now, look, I was trying to be nice, but you know what? Hold on. She says, dude, I'm talking lie to break down a body in the soil. I'm going to leave it up there, too.
Hey, I got a neighbor that's got a backhoe.
Oh, no, Aussie. What kind of live was he on? She said she left Spirit Time the other day, found him on a panel in another live. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, really? Spirit Time? Up. You're grounded.
Dusty said lie. Why? L-Y-E, not L-I-E. Said, give me a body. Don't be nice. Don't be nice around me. Uh-oh.
I ain't saying how much acres I got, but a lot.
You got so much you'd lose where the body was.
We're on. I got your first contestant. Oh, my word. Take the bun down. Take the bun down.
If
We
the
don't-
eye shows up on my door, you'll know.
Charlie Girl said he was looking for his doodle.
He was looking for his doodle on another panel.
It was about crime. What did you change it to? I can't imagine.
Doodle time.
Mm-hmm. But I'll fill it up. Oh dear.
Oh my word. I love y'all.
Love you too, man. It's
Dusty, breathe in.
Now, if
Well,
anything does go down, we have to delete this.
well, what we'll do is we'll start with the neighbor's property, and then
oh, okay.
Even better.
Okay, spirits and ghosts.
I got one good neighbor and one bad neighbor. So we'll start with the bad.
And then work over to the good if we have to.
Ain't no shame in our game.
And their neighbor on the other side of them. Gotta be one across the way somewhere.
Well, across the highway, yeah.
Oh man.
Dusty said, I got you, Jenna. I got my scapegoat. Dusty, you got it. She said, I clean the prints, that's all. None at all. There'll be none. Oh no.
I didn't
Equal
You have to
opportunity.
come up with a code when you call for this favor.
I'm looking for Big Red Daddy. Or
The eagle
Big
has
Green Daddy.
landed. The eagle has landed. It is hungry.
Bring out the Jolly Green Giant. Yeah. Equal opportunity setup. That's about right.
right.
If they want to level the playing fields, Waylon, you need to tell them. You better be nice to me. If
Well-
not, they increase their chances.
I know that all my coworkers except one would be game on.
And that one would be the one who keeps stealing your parking spot.
Yeah. That one will be under the ground. Oh,
just
did
run
I
over.
say-
You
did
just
I
run
say
over.
that?
Just like. Oh, I just ran over your vehicle.
Yeah.
So sorry.
I mean, like, did I say that? I forgot that I said that. I can remember that.
Hold on. Let me reverse this and back it up. Maybe it'll undo it.
I know, right?
Well, I didn't feel that bump. Oh man.
Look, Dusty said I can home cook. Want a steak and mashed taters? I got you, Will, and eat with mushrooms.
Look, she be whipping up. Let me tell you something. She be whipping up food every night. Every night.
Mhm. She be cooking. She'd be like, chow time. But let's not take it to, you ever seen that movie, Fried Green Tomatoes?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, let's not
Let's
take it to that
take it
level.
that far.
You know, I do want to plant a garden, you know.
We need some fertilizer.
Be serving up some barbecue.
Yeah.
Barbecue in there.
Be like, we got you some Texas style barbecue.
Yeah.
There's a small cafe in the corner.
Barbie said, Waylon, are you from Australia? No. I know where he was born. He may not know, but I know where he was born. He was the only one of us not born in California.
Yeah.
I can imagine where he's at, where he's born.
Where do you imagine? I'll tell you if you're right or not.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to dox him.
These states are all pretty large, so he doesn't live in the state he was born, I can tell you that. None of us do. None of us live in the state we were born, actually.
Right.
Texas.
Nope. He lives in Texas. He was not born in Texas.
Or was I?
Or was
Well,
he?
you do have a different daddy. I'm just saying.
Which is hilarious because our birth father denied Waylon for the longest time. He was convinced that he wasn't his, and they're pretty much identical.
Oh wow, I see. That's a lot of water.
Oh,
Yeah, they're flooding.
Man. Yeah, it's time to fly them back over. Wow.
Charlie girl said, "I'm so sorry you ran under my car tire." MC Licklick says, "Hey, every beautiful people, all you beautiful people."
hello.
Hey, Nancy, how are you doing?
She just waking up. And Dusty's gonna look. Dusty said, "I'm getting ideas here." Well, you know, you already had those ideas. Wyoming. That's kind of close. It's kind of close, but no, not in Wyoming.
Oh.
AMC.
Yeah, and you gotta say lick lick. She gets very testy if you don't do that. Everyone's praying for you, Aussie. Well, I'm sure she can see it though.
That's definitely. It's where her daughter and her grandbaby is.
Oh, they're saying Utah. Well, I guess you have that Mormon feel about you.
Oh, shit.
No, we do have Mormons in the family, and I think at one point we were Mormons,
Yeah.
but not from Utah.
Wisconsin?
No.
Everybody's sending prayers.
I'll give you a hint. It's fairly close to California.
Arizona?
No, not Nevada. Where's Gloria live?
I know where she stays. Oh, okay.
Panelists need not answer.
Let's see,
Where I
what's
want to go.
No,
But
but close.
Close.
That's where we were raised, Waylon and I.
Okay.
You remember where she stays at? Close, Dusty. Dusty's getting really
I-
close.
I know where
You
she
and Jenna
stays at
are right
now.
there.
I know she
Yeah.
stays at now.
Yeah. That's where he was born. That's
Okay.
where, when my adoption was going through, they were trying to say that I was born there, and they couldn't find my birth certificate, and they had to do this big search. Oh my gosh. And, you know, back then they didn't have the computers like they do now. So it was a rigmarole, and they had to search several states trying to figure out where I was born. Are you sure she was born there? Because it's not saying that. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I think she was.
Yeah.
Where were they trying to say you were born at?
She was trying to say that I was born in another state than where I was.
She was trying to say she was born in the state Waylon was born in.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, no, I was born in Cali. And there's no doxing. We don't live in Cali at all anymore, y'all. But
No.
we were all, 4 of us were born there and 1 was not. I was not the one that was not born there.
Did you just hear what she said? I was not the one that was not born there.
That was not me. I was not born outside of California. I'm a Cali girl, like, you know,
Like, totally.
like, yeah.
Let's go shopping.
Like, I'm sure I should have been in Hollywood, Santa Monica Boulevard, you know.
Hollywood
that?
Boulevard.
What's that school in Hollywood they all those actors and went to? Actors and actresses went to
The Performing Arts School.
no. It's a high school so many of them went to. Is it
I don't know.
Beverly Hills High or something like that? It's like so many of them went there. And Charlie Girl, gag me with a pitchfork.
I was born in the partiest town in the USA.
The
I think
partyist
that might
him?
have been, huh?
The partyist?
Yeah, I think it was Cheech and Chong that said it, but I'm not positive.
I'll be right back. Okay.
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 I was born in Chico, California.
Wow.
So some people say that to me when they find out, oh, you were born in the party's town.
Your brother just covered us up.
I hope that's not him slapping us.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh my word.
Well,
Dusty, you were closer with Oregon.
I can give her a very obvious hint, but I don't want to.
No, that.
Hey,
I know.
Kiki. Kiki's
It's
down
the
here,
state
y'all.
that I
Hey,
live in.
Keisha. How you doing, Keisha? Finally got her messenger situated. I can finally message her.
Hey, Barbie got it. She said in the USA. Yes?
In the USA, you're right. I gotta go. Okay.
Born in the USA.
Or not.
Charlie girl, guess what I gotta go do?
Well, and Dusty gives up. She was all around it. You just couldn't get it.
No, we've been talking about rain.
A lot of rain.
A lot of rain.
Ah, nope. What? DC. You gotta drop the DC, sweetheart. Yeah.
You're giving them hints. You're not supposed to give them hints.
Well, I mean, when they're so close.
So that was very close and should be easy to go from there.
She said dropped. She dropped the DC, so now I think she's got it. But we won't commit to any of it until she actually says it.
She got to say exactly right.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly right. Not just it. You gotta say the exact right.
And then
But see-
got to name the town too.
There we go. Yay.
Nobody wants to
Yeah.
name that town, will it?
Washington.
Yes,
I
yeah.
was gonna
see.
say Space Needle, but
Yeah, that would kind of give it away.
yeah.
But yeah, see, that's why he have a different daddy, because he was born in a different state. She had to run away and say, well, you got to be born somewhere else. Seems like you have a different daddy.
Right.
Oh, well, hold up. What, Dusty? Dusty said, hold up. Hey, well, we bounced back and forth between Cali and Washington a lot, it seemed like. You know.
I don't know about you, but I'm bouncing in Texas only.
Well, I wish I could say that. Y'all, guess what? Okay, you know, our next grandbaby's she's gonna be induced on Wednesday, right? So we get ready to bounce up there, and hopefully we get there before baby's born. But if not, it's okay. I'm gonna snuggle him afterwards, you know. But I got a note from work asking if I could go work, and I'm so sad that I'm missing out because I had an opportunity to go and work all week at a Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, wow.
At
I
a-
ain't seen one of them in forever.
I know. My husband said Piggly Wiggly, and I said, "Yeah, I'm kind of brokenhearted. I'm going to miss working at a Piggly Wiggly because I'd have fun with that all week. I could take all kinds of pictures and stuff in front of the Piggly Wiggly." He goes, Brian said, "I didn't even think they were in existence still." I said, "Yeah, they are."
I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
And it wasn't in this state though. It was the next state over. Of course, they got Piggly Wigglies everywhere there.
I don't think I've ever seen a Piggly Wiggly.
They
No.
removed them off them down here. We don't have them down here no more.
They got them over there in Louisiana. They got them. Piggly
There's
Wiggly.
a Pig's
Louisiana.
liquor store in California. It's called Pigs.
In Louisiana.
Jenna, you brushing your teeth again?
I'm done.
Brusha,
See?
brusha, brusha.
I think yeah, I'm just a minute, boy.
Uh,
See, you didn't even hear me brushing my teeth.
yeah, actually, Charlie girl said brusha, 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 Jenna.
I love you too, baby. I love you too,
She
baby.
heard you.
Oh, did she hear me?
Yeah.
I was trying to
Yeah.
be quiet.
Dusty said they don't have one there around her either, but Keisha said they have one like an hour and 15 minutes from her.
Really?
Yeah. And there's one closer to you than you think. Oh, Keisha knows where you at, girl. Shh,
Yeah,
don't dox
Keisha
her.
knows. Keisha
They,
knows
they,
one.
Do you
They
guys
probably
have
do.
do you guys have Circle K's?
yeah.
Yeah,
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 we
yeah.
don't anymore.
Really?
Yeah. We have
Well-
Nom Noms and 7-Eleven still.
Okay, you know one of the worst ones, and I have a video clip of this from when I went up to see Candy. Okay? Y'all, I had to go pee so bad, and I had to stop at the store, even though I didn't want to because of the name of it. So I took video of it. I went ahead and went to the bathroom, got gas, and I took video. I should pull it off of my SD card, and I should post it because I just think it was a very. I really think they should have thought about the name before they did it. And I know I cannot be the only one who thinks they should have not named this chain CUMNGO. Come and go. Right? Okay, Gloria. See, I'm not the only one.
That was pretty nifty. Come and
That-
go.
Come go.
I just don't think they should have done that. I mean, I'm just going, that's so inappropriate. I just don't know. Mm-mm.
Now,
Even the spelling. Oh my god.
so
I just.
now that person that's going through that town will never forget that.
It's a big chain around there. Like,
Come and go.
yeah, there's a like Circle K or whatever, and it's just like
Golden pantries. Y'all have golden pantries?
no. Well,
No?
if I paint it golden, I'll have a golden pantry, but not my chosen color.
I'm talking about convenience stores called Golden Pantry.
No,
Hmm.
No?
And we
No.
don't have any Aldi's here.
Oh, see, I like Aldi's. I do.
We don't have that.
Which-
Or Sam's Club.
They're probably coming up there because they've got them up where Candy's at.
I know y'all have a Dollar General everywhere.
Oh, we got
Dollar General. $1.25 General.
I know. Well, yeah, the Dollar Tree, $1.25 tree. Phew, that's too much to say even more. They need to just change their names.
Well, we have the Dollar General, the Family Dollar, and we have a Dollar Tree.
Well, they now have Family Dollar and Dollar Tree combined. Okay, so Dollar Tree shouldn't be called Dollar Tree anymore. It should just be called, hey, whatever we want to charge you. That's what it should be called. No,
Everything
Charlie
in
girl.
$1, though.
No, it's $1.25 now.
Oh, is it? Well, I haven't
Yeah.
been in one.
You ain't. I know, Charlie. I didn't go to Ben Hill. I've been through Tennessee, but not to Ben Hill. I ain't going there. Well, actually, I may have. We've come really close to it. Kiki said, "I'm unalive." Keisha said, "Oh, Dusty, you okay? She choked on her tea.
Don't
Well,
choke on
girl-
your tea, Dusty.
Untie that bun on top. And you won't be choking.
Let your eyebrows down a little bit. Relax
Loosen-
your face.
Loosen up your throat a little bit. I know it's still a little tight from that bun. Yeah, MC, it's what it was called right there. And I think that's highly inappropriate.
Come and go. I think it sounds pretty nifty.
I'm sure you do.
I do.
Come and go. We get out of here, big fella.
Dollar make you holler.
Aussie said, we don't have any of them.
Jesus, I'm like, that's where you go to choke.
No, see, I'm telling you, that is just wrong. Barbie says, it's rained in Georgia for 2 days. Pray it stops. Yeah, you might end up like Aussie over there. Like her daughter and granddaughter.
It's not going to rain tomorrow, Barbie. Tomorrow's supposed to be a pretty warm day.
No, my pantries are white cotton, might get an infection. Oh, no.
Oh my word.
Oh, Aussie! Oh man.
Price hose. Johnson, you said you went and visited Candy.
She
Tell me
said, "Now we know.
more.
Now we know why Candace was in a hotel the other night. Blech, blech, I'm gonna be sick."
Look what Judo said. Hey, lovely. Hey, Indica.
Yeah, and see the way they spelled it is wrong. They should never. I just don't know why they would do that. I don't know. And I mean, whoever approved that, I mean, there should have been somebody on a business level somewhere that said, "Hey, this is just, maybe think of something better."
Oh man.
Hey, Indica, she's in here. It's gonna be nice there, huh? Next week. She said it's gonna be 50s and 60s the next few
It's
days.
supposed to have like 70 degrees tomorrow. It's gonna be beautiful. I got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, so it's gonna be beautiful weather to do it in.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yes.
Dusty said, "Let it begin."
You
Charlie
know.
Girl said, "Well, and this is about the time it turns bad. You might want to run." Nah, he's in here. He's in for the long haul. He's good. He said, "Banana what?"
Horny manners.
Judah.
I have
No.
enough friends now. Oh yeah.
Look, it was not my fault. I asked, did someone say horny? It wasn't. It was y'all's fault.
That was not our fault. I don't know why you blame. You cannot hold anybody else accountable for your actions, Jenna. Accountability.
I was like, did someone just say horny?
You need to take accountability.
I take accountability for acting on my panel, but in the background, did she really just say horny?
Charlie Girl said, "Hey, you know what they say, sex sells." Well, Jenna knows that. She said, "Get out there, y'all. Y'all a mess. Get out there to the corner."
Oh man, I do miss our Piggly Wigglies. Barbie, I do too. We used to have them. The
You
big
can
old
do
pig.
some. You used to be able to do some good coupon in there.
For real, they would give you a book to like stamp off.
She ain't warning us. Look, man, Dusty the one who did the obscene things with the banana. I can't help what she done. I mean, I wish I could and say just get it out of my mind's eye because it just flashes like a little video in my brain all the time. Hey, maybe if I put what little bit of hair I have on my head, maybe if I put it up real tight like Dusty does.
Alert.
Do what?
We have a child missing alert.
Uh-oh.
Where is it at, MC? Judo, I'm gonna write a book and I'll sell you a book.
Dusty, it wasn't a simple bite, baby. That was, she was going for it.
For a long time, my kids, I'd have bananas here, and I would look over, they'd be eating them sideways. Kind of a running joke, like I don't want to look awkward. But
Lincoln County, Kentucky.
Oh no.
oh no.
She said, "Oh shit, they didn't say sell sex." Well, they might. I mean, it's probably what they're doing. There's still a nanner peel on Dusty's ceiling. Is it the same one or a new one? She said she started to bite sideways now too. Dusty.
Lovely said she's got a
You'll
wig
have
she
to,
can send you.
She said what?
Lovely said she has a wig that she's gonna send you.
Oh yeah, Lovely. You know I need it. I don't have very much hair left. Nah,
I'll eat
Dusty,
bananas.
you know, she said I have begun to bite sideways. Dusty, don't change what you're good at, baby.
Don't let them bring you down, Dusty.
Don't change your
Eat it
ways.
the right way, Dusty. Have no shame in your game, honey.
Oh, she doesn't either. She,
Have no shame in it. Just like you whipped that hair up today. Have no shame in it.
I'm glad she wasn't eating a banana when she was that mad. Oh my gosh.
I know, right? I mean, if it had went any farther, she would have took a ride today. A 5-hour ride.
This one, Charlie? I said something about it. I said, is it the same one or a new one? There's a nana beetle on her ceiling.
Shining, I have a wig I will send you.
Yeah. She knows I need it. I'm going to be one of those old ladies in the nursing home with 5 strands of hair on my head going, does it
Hey,
look
I'll get this
pretty?
call. I'll be right back in, okay?
All right.
And says somebody will put a little bow on top, though.
I know. It'll probably be Casey.
Shining, I have, okay. I'll be one with the solid silver hair that's really thin and down my back.
You have so much hair, though.
Yeah, but it's thinning out a little bit.
Yeah. Dusty
Yeah,
said Jenna
mhm.
has no room to talk with those turkey dogs. Well, hey, Mr. Garner. He said, hello, everyone. Shining Charlie girl, lovely Dusty Judo. Please continue to show love and support for Jenna's journey, especially since she started her new journey. Yeah, we always support. We love Jenna.
Yeah.
Dusty's divine hair and nanner whipping. I'm telling you, man, it's got to be a thing. It'd be like a new dance or something. Oh no, MC, that's the one that was in Kentucky? Is it? She said she'll post in the group chat, African American shot mother and fled with child. Oh no.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Does
One more.
anybody know if it's a stranger or a parent or?
I don't know. Okay, one more up from that one. Oh. Come and go, get it, sell sex. Yeah, they sell it there, probably. They probably do, Charlie girl. Child is 2 years old. Oh no. Yeah, Dusty. Yeah, girl. She said, I like that. Oh, I smell something. Something's burning or something, y'all. As long as it ain't my house, I'm good. Lots of love. Look. Okay, we'll put that up there for a minute because it's a suicide and all that kind of stuff is really. Yeah, judo tap out. It is really sad. There's so much. I mean, what in the world is going on? Mr. Garner says, I want to apologize to Dusty. You were only trying to give me good advice. Dusty, I'm sorry if I wasn't accepting of your advice. Aw. Shining, does your brother talk or is he just going to sit up there and smile? What's wrong with this smile, lovely?
Well, you just missed it.
Judo, tap out. Listen, they must have beat him up as a kid because he is quiet. No, he just learned.
God.
He just learned his place. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I got a truck and I got a property to bury the bodies.
Oh no. MC said, yeah, he shot mother and his father and fled with the child. Okay, so who was the person if he shot the mother and the father? So he's not the Jenna's
Okay,
back.
So he's
Hey,
the
Liz
mother and
G.
he's the father.
Hey, Liz.
Do
Hey, Liz.
Okay, did he shoot the mother and he is the father and fled with the kid, or did he shoot the mother and the father? I think it was just the mother, right? And it's the father who fled with them.
Now, is she shot and deceased, or I wonder?
It kind of sounded like it when she said it. Hey, Liz G joined us. How you doing tonight, Liz?
Yeah, I told her that you was live to come over.
Oh, thank you.
Make sure you hit the subscribe and like.
Piggly Wiggly had the best bakery in Delhi. Yeah.
Yeah, I know they did.
Okay, he is the father. Okay.
Hmm.
Well,
Oh, Kiki. She said he probably liked my brother. He probably never got the opportunity to talk much. Mine sure didn't.
Waylon, don't you say a word. Yeah, I always thought that I was the sweet sister. That I was,
Shot mom. Yes, he is.
found
Oh,
out
no.
and found out that I apparently was bossy and not very nice. But
Well, you were a typical sibling, and honestly, I mean, you had to be mom to all of us. So, at a really young age, you had to take care of us. I mean, you were barely out of diapers, changing diapers.
you weren't
Waylon
bossy
probably
to me.
remembers this, but I used to go in there with him.
Well, and she sure did. Don't even try it.
Well,
She bossed you. You know it.
I don't remember because my stroke last year. I don't remember. So
Oh, I
Look,
never bossed you or anything. Yeah.
both of y'all.
Did she beat you up?
Indica. Look, y'all had strokes, so you don't remember. I haven't had a stroke yet, so my mind's still intact. Listen, she bossed you, honey. She did it up until last year. She
Don't
probably
believe
still.
her. Don't believe her.
Look, Lovey's like, oh wow, he does talk.
Oh no, Judo. Judo's on your side, Willen. He said he learned a long time ago. A long time. It hurts when you sleep after you make sis mad.
I never had a brother.
You never had a brother?
No, I don't have a brother.
Girl, you ain't missing much. No. I'm sorry you didn't have a brother.
I don't have blood brothers, but I have other brothers,
Yeah, you do. You got another brother. You sure do. And you know who it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah,
Gloria. She had to put her glasses on to read.
I just know on my face froze with them,
It's all up close. Ooh. Dusty has 3 brothers. Ah. Well, Waylon has 3 sisters. There's 3 of us and 2 brothers.
Yeah.
So
And then if you include adopted
Jimmy,
adopted
you can have
family,
mine.
how many do you have, Waylon? Let's see. Tammy, Christina.
Yes.
well, probably the same amount as you, Gloria.
I know. I'll have to stop and think.
Do you see how she tried to disassociate from you?
I'm like,
Like-
I'm the one that has the newest stroke. Okay.
Right? Just like, well, how many do you have, Willen?
So there's
I-
5 girls and 5 boys all together.
So
For
this
me-
is the one that was just recently in the hospital.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
so glad that you're okay.
Yeah, you don't know a lot of these people were praying for you.
Thank you.
You know,
Yes,
I was
we
on
will.
there crying. Please pray for him. We were told you were like dead just about, Waylon.
Well,
You felt like it.
right here.
You're like, oh. Oh, Aussie said you can have her brothers.
Yeah, and also I got Judo. Judo's another one.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
that's what we were talking about. Yeah, well, MC, he had 3, but she's got 2 now. I still say we have 2. Even though he's passed away, it's still.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Dusty said they were praying hard for you.
Yeah, we were.
There
They were.
you go. See, you said everybody was.
Yeah, I'm still alive for a reason. I don't know yet, but
Right?
maybe bury some dead bodies or something.
Your mission is not complete.
Mission incomplete. Mission incomplete.
You must stay.
Like and subscribe for body. What do you say? Relocation.
And you can relocate to my property.
Right.
He's like, mm-hmm.
So that's the sunshine.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna say that he beat me. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely. Whew.
today's number 6, y'all.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 6 days. Wow. Mm. Well. Where'd Dusty disappear to? Grabbing a banana?
Eh?
She grabbing a banana.
She's like, huh?
Oh, Dusty getting a banana. See, she's not on camera, so she's eating it the way she normally does. She's going for
Yeah,
it.
right. I want to talk about your topic. You gotta tell me your topic again. You said when to run.
When to walk and when to run. You know, we have to run when we haven't walked. So how do we teach our children and help others? Because like I said, all ages, you know.
Yeah.
How do we teach others to notice those red flags?
Of what type of red flags?
Wendy, get the heck out before it gets real bad.
Well, sometimes you don't see red flags.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking about that, Jenna. Especially if you're in the midst of chaos and some of that sneaks up on you.
You know, it all of a sudden hits one day.
Yep. But to get out is the key, you know. But I'm just like doing a lot of thinking about it.
Yeah,
and
when it all hits, that's when you get the hell out. You run. There's no walking about it. You run. I mean, yeah, you got to walk through the steps to get to where you got to go, but don't stay.
I was talking about the relationship that I was in for a long time that was toxic. He was very emotionally abusive, and part of the reason I stayed was that my childhood had been so unstable that I didn't want to repeat that for my children.
Right.
And even though there was chaos, wasn't always recognizing, but it was still stability.
Right.
I could count on the same thing every day. I knew where my kids were going to lay their heads. I knew they were going to have their 3 meals a day. And
right.
And before you know it, you're just there another year.
Right. That's how it was with my children's Charlie girl. That's how I was with my children's father. I stayed there for stability, but he ended up leaving us, which was a blessing, and then got into an abusive relationship, and I stayed there for 7 years and then fought my way out, and yet again.
And I was also telling them that I felt by the end of the 15 years, I felt like I was the ugliest, most undesirable woman, and that I was invisible. And after I left, I found out I wasn't, and but little things I was sharing that I didn't know how to adjust my heat register because it had never been up to me. It was these little things looking back that Like, oh my God, you put up with that for 15 freaking years.
Yeah.
Mhm. And he's doing the same thing to another woman. But
I had it only for when my husband, me and my ex-husband, we argued. It was more mental, not physical. But with my abuser, it was 7 was enough. About killed me. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I refused. I thought I broke that cycle, and it's like breaking it again.
right, because sometimes you just get caught up in it and you don't realize it.
Or the person is a good manipulator
Yes.
until their back is up against the wall and you see everything.
Yeah, the mask comes off.
Yeah. That your whole marriage has been a lie.
Yeah.
So, you grow from it. I think
Yeah.
the crying is over. Because once you go through hell like that in life, like any type of physical or mental abuse,
Mhm.
you know how to pick yourself back up.
Mhm.
And you got to teach your kids not to go through what you go through.
That's right.
You want your kids to have the best, to appreciate and respect, and also for their partner to respect as well.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was a point that we hit on as well is, showing that to our children and teaching them in those, when you do have the red flags, to recognize it. And we condition ourselves, and it's like I said, I think it's generational, because everybody before us has done it, where what happens between you and your spouse stays between you and your spouse. So whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever relationship it is, when they do those things, how do we get them to go, hey, this is something you should look for, don't keep this under wraps. It was like I was saying, I had a daughter that went through a relationship and I was encouraging it. I encouraged her to stay with this guy, for them to work this issue out and that issue out, whatever. I did not know the whole story.
Right.
Did not give me the whole story. Therefore, and I told her afterwards, when she finally kind of started talking and things were done with them, I told her, I said, oh my gosh, I would have told you to run, honey. Well, run as fast as you could, the opposite way. And she had said to me, Mom, I didn't realize they were red flags until you just told me. And that just was like a stab in the heart, and it was smaller things that I think we don't necessarily talk to our kids about, or to others that are going through it or getting ready to go through it, because there's people out there who've never been in an abusive relationship. Their spouse just passed away or whatever, and they're moving on into another relationship, and all of a sudden this is a bad one.
Right.
Well, I've always taught my kids, love don't hurt.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's mental or physical, love does not hurt.
Yeah. One of the most dangerous things that I think I heard growing up, and it's a generation thing, don't air your dirty laundry.
Yeah.
And that set me up, because you have an abuser that says, this is our business. Don't involve your family. It's none of their business. Don't involve your friends. It's none of their business. And that's something that's kind of ingrained, though. Like my mother's generation, women were told, you made your bed, lay in it.
Right.
You stay. Honor your husband, which that's not what the Bible meant.
No, it's not. My mama did the
Yeah.
same thing. My mama believed in the death do you part,
Right.
and she died beside her abuser. She passed away beside her abuser.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the things are just how we were brought up. I'm so glad that that's not a thing. I would never tell my daughter that or my son.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a
Now,
hard one. I think it's a hard one because it's just kind of, there's so many of those things that you see that are so toxic and so damaging. And, it's like, okay, well, and I'm very open and honest with my children. I will, I tell them all kinds of things. I try to put it on their level that they can understand it for when they're smaller, depending on what it is. But, I'm like, oh my gosh, they know that, okay, a man shouldn't lay his hands on you. You shouldn't lay a hand on them, man or woman, whichever, So I try to raise my girls and my boys like that. But it's those smaller things that, sometimes I think get looked over where, hey, you know what, this is a sign of a bad relationship and that you shouldn't be in.
and yeah, abuse doesn't have to be secret. Any type of abuse where I was brought up in a family that didn't air your dirty laundry and family business was secret. I'm glad that I can break that cycle.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, that's where part of the shame comes from it, because you're not supposed to air it. You're not supposed to tell anybody. It's supposed to be a secret. And, my mom used to always say, secrets are harmful. They hurt. There shouldn't be secrets. Dangerous ones, a surprise party for someone is, that's not what kind of secret we're talking about, but as soon as somebody says, don't tell someone, whatever it is, this is probably the first sign you should be telling someone.
Right.
Unless it involves the relocation of bugs.
Yes. That you don't breathe a word.
Yeah, hush, hush. On the down low.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, baby.
If not, you're going to be one of the bodies.
Waylon, I thought you worked for the mob.
Oh, I do.
I didn't think you were the mob.
I've been reading chat.
He's like the Godfather.
The Godfather.
Okay, y'all hold it down for a second. Okay, I'll be right back.
I'm not singing.
I will talk.
All right.
Alabama. Just kidding.
Thank you all for coming to Coffee Time with Shiny Survivor. Yeah, please hit the like, subscribe, and share. This is a great channel. We got lovely people here with real stories. Do y'all believe it should be kept silent and not? No, I don't think so. Empty. When I was with my abuser, I was scared to tell because I didn't want anybody to think like she's with someone that's hurting her. But then he started abusing me in places that was public. Like he punched me in front of my sisters, and one of my sisters actually went after him. My one that stays away, she went after him because he like straight up punched me straight in the face right there in front of her. So no, don't be silent about anything.
Right. That's probably some of the best advice when you see somebody going through it.
Yeah, and I always tell my kids about the sexual stuff. I say, people will tell you, like, hey, if you say this, I'm going to hurt you and your family. Don't believe them.
And we touched earlier on, I said, I had a neighbor kid molesting me when I was little. And I never came out about any sexual abuse until I was in my mid-20s.
Yeah.
And part of the reason that I didn't come out to my parents is I knew my biological father would kill my abuser.
Yeah.
And then I feared he would go to prison. You know, I would lose my father. It's, you know, there's lots of complications with SA. And it's not necessarily that you're protecting your abuser. You're really trying to protect, in a weird way, in the child's mind, I was protecting my father.
Right.
And, you know, I never ever did come out to either one of my biological parents.
Well, when I did, I went into a deep depression, and my mama, you know, I stayed in the bed for a while, and my mama actually came in there, and she asked me, she figured something was wrong with me, and that's when I
Mhm.
told her about it. Because when it happened, it I don't know, it just like took part of me, and I just like I would lay down. I would not get up, eat nothing or anything like that. And that's when it got told, was when she came in there. And I could tell my mama anything. That's one thing I could do. My mama always taught me if someone ever does something to come to her. But you know, my mama, she protected us the best way she could, even though she was being abused.
Right.
You know, she done what she could do. So
Did y'all address this comment by MC?
yes, I did.
Do
Okay.
y'all believe it should be kept silent and not talk about it, how abused you're being? I don't think it should be kept silent.
No.
No, not at
Sing
all.
it. Sing it to the mountains, baby.
Yeah.
And once you talk about it, it's like a release on you
Hmm.
because it frees you up to help somebody else.
Right. I do think as a child, breaking the silence can be risky. You know, one of your parents could retaliate, or a situation that's close to my heart, you're just not believed. You know, a person isn't believed, and then
Right.
they're created to be the monster in the situation.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen so many times.
Or it's, you know, hey, Indica Sunshine.
Hey, Indica. I miss Indica.
Where it's, you know, keep silent. You don't want to hurt the family name. You don't, you know, we're not going to discuss that. Even though they may know that it's happened, it's that whole turn a blind eye to it. And, you know, we're not going to get a bad reputation around here.
Right.
Those kind of things.
See, when mine was going on, okay, so shoot.
Oh wait, were you trying to read one?
Oh, that's okay. I think I got most of it. And I understand that it might get worse from the abuser. It's only way you're going to get help. Got worse from the abuser.
Yeah, and that's the scary part though, is because I know when, like, my friend would try and stand up for me against my ex, I was like, look, you're gonna get my ass beat. Please don't, you know, which,
Right.
you know, we can't tell our friends to stand down. And I think about it now, because my position should have been, you know, you're right, I'm out right now. You know, at that very moment when I first told someone, hey, please don't say anything because you're just making it worse on me, I'm going to get the blunt of that because you're standing up to them. I should have gone at that very moment. That should have been a realization for me that this isn't good, get out. But it wasn't.
My abuser done it in front of one of my friends, and I thought she was my friend at the time. I thought she would save me, but she helped. When he grabbed my son from calling 911, she took the phone out of my son's hand. So, you know, I don't. That's why I have a hard time of.
Yeah.
Well, she definitely wasn't a friend then.
No, she wasn't. It was somebody that became my friend just to be with my abuser, and I didn't know it at the time until after he got locked up from beating me about to death that night, and I lost my baby, but that I was pregnant with.
Mm.
So, but my son has saved me many times,
Yeah.
and now it's time for me to, which I've been doing, to raise my kids the correct way.
Yeah, you have been. You've been raising them right, girl. You're a good mama. You're a great mama. And that's all we can do. I mean, as parents, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to, that's just the way it is. Nobody's perfect, but you love your kids and you want the best for them and you're raising them right. That's all you can do,
Right.
Yeah, that's a definite hard one. But again, to know you're not alone.
I know.
No one's alone in this. We may feel like it. We may feel like, oh my gosh, nope, you're not alone. And there's a whole bunch of people who've been through the same kind of situation. Now, granted, you got to be careful because, like we've discussed, there are one of two ways. You either go and you break the chain, you don't want anybody else to hurt, so you'd never hurt them like that. And, like, hey, I don't want you to feel bad. I don't want to be the reason that you're hurt, right? Or they continue the cycle and they have become the abuser.
Right.
Which has many forms. Just because they may not beat somebody, but when you go and attack someone verbally, any kind of way, you're perpetuating that. That's the bullying. We talked about that a couple nights ago.
Right.
Or,
Hey, Andrea.
Or they can be a good manipulator and a good con.
Right.
Oh yeah, most of them are. They present one way and they're definitely not that way. And they can keep it up for a long time. Some of them can. But little by little, that truth comes out. The mask get peeled off a little bit at a time.
Well, my baby Pat, they took my baby MC because I was beaten so bad, and a baby couldn't live. I was 16 weeks pregnant, didn't even know it.
I'm trying to give you a chance to read them, Gloria. I'm kind of waiting to see.
Glasses on.
Yeah.
The readers. I'm glad I can see distance, but
Yeah.
Just back away from the camera.
anyway.
Oh, Gloria, are you frozen? No, wait till she gets real close.
Yeah, I gotta.
Are you frozen, Gloria? Gloria.
Oh Lord.
That's mine. I have to wear my contacts. If I wear them, then I have to wear my readers. If I don't wear my contacts, then I constantly take my glasses on and off because I can't read with my glasses on, especially at work. It's horrible because it's like most of the time they're sitting on a shelf somewhere. I've dropped them at work and broke them right after I got my new glasses. That was,
Oh wow, that would make me mad.
It made me mad too. I was sitting there super gluing it and everything, and then I dropped them again, and the other one popped off. I said, "Oh my goodness!" And my husband says, well, "Let's take them back, see if they can fix them." Well, I'm glad he said that, and I was humming because I was like, and they were like, "Oh, we can just replace the frames. You got a year warranty on." I was like, "What? You mean I've been dealing with this for like a month?"
Putting some tape around them.
I know. I thought, let me get the electrical tape out.
Oh man.
I know after I had my retina detached, I couldn't wear contacts, so I would pull out my old glasses, and they broke at work right here.
Oh gosh.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a picture of me. The coworker took the big wad of tape there, like.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah.
Finish out the shift with that.
I wear glasses, but I have not worn them. I need to start wearing them. But I'm supposed to wear glasses every day, and I just haven't been wearing them.
Nope.
Nah.
Games when a person loses an eye.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
our brother with the glass eye.
The one that he chased people out of a restaurant with.
I don't remember that.
It's a stroke, Wellen. It's okay. You
Are
did. It
you
was
serious?
yeah, it was Richard's son at that meeting that we went to at the
Oh yes, now
yeah, now you remember. I just had to jog your memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, can you keep an eye on this?" And he said, "Sure can." Boop, boop. Yeah, he got up and left. Richard, his dad, looks over at us and he goes, "He just can't take a joke, can he?" Huh.
Oh yeah, Waylon doesn't. He had an accident which caused severe damage to his eye. And didn't you get the eye removed before you turned 18?
Yeah, 17.
17, because it was just constantly causing infection. But we were playing out in the yard in California, and Waylon was about 2, and he ran toward a chain link fence, which had a piece of metal sticking out. And at the same time, a kid rode by and kind of kicked the fence, and it just went into his eye.
Oh my word.
Yeah, it was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
A kid, Gloria? Say it was you.
No, it was a little boy on a bicycle, and he didn't mean to cause any harm. He was just goofing off. He'd ride by and kick the fence, and we'd
Yeah.
laugh. And
Oh my word.
it was horrible. Absolutely.
Mm.
That is so right, Aussie. Yeah. I totally agree with that. I really do.
Yeah, they're through there. You find them. You get them. Hold on to them when you find them, people.
I know, right? And you'll see the ones that are not true weed out.
Yep. You
Right.
do.
Well, I'm just waiting for that one to leave, but he just won't leave. So,
And
But
you say
he's on
some
it.
people are a friend for a season.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then some are just wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yep.
You're exactly right.
he
I
was
love
nice
you.
about
I
2
love
weeks.
you.
That's it.
You see
Taking
that?
all these meds.
Take that message from
I
Liz?
will. I will. I sure will.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dusty.
So sorry.
We say that like we haven't heard that before, but it's still always so sad, you know?
It is very sad.
Oh, there's more.
There's a lot more.
Oh, he said bury. She said bury him. Bury them, Waylon.
Oh, not a problem. I mean, seriously, like, we can make them disappear.
Find that little kid who did that to your eye.
Bastard. Oh, did I say that?
Hold him accountable.
Right.
Yeah, you know. Yeah,
He's
even
like-
as adults, we could do something like that, not even seeing that there's a danger on it, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I did. MC, I did.
Dusty says she got you, Waylon. Look, she making that stick up now.
I'm gonna jump off here real quick. I'll be back if y'all are still on, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
make
right.
sure y'all hit the like, subscribe. Nice to meet you, Waylon. I
All
love
right,
your
nice to meet you.
sisters. Like my sisters, and now I got a new brother, so I got 2 brothers now.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Mhm.
So if I need somebody, I know who to call.
Told you we know a guy.
We know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy.
Knows a guy. What you need done? I got you. I know a guy.
I work for the mob, so,
You are the mob.
I see you are strong.
Thank you,
You've been
Ozzy.
through. I admire you as well for what you've been through.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
Yes.
Love Aussie, man. She's she's awesome. I tell you what, y'all.
She is.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, y'all didn't get to hear her story, but she was one that told her story on my channel before it had to change.
Oh,
Yeah, I erased it so it wouldn't get leaked out.
Mm-mm.
yeah. Mm.
I know judo tap out.
Yeah.
I love you all. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna make a phone call real quick.
Okay, love you.
I love y'all.
All right, love you.
Will is the guy.
Thank you, MC.
Well, MC look like say it right, Wellen. Real good. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Uh-oh. She's spilling her coffee.
No, I'm in the clear this time, y'all. Phew, I thought, what did I do now? No, I was asked, if I could cycle laundry.
Oh.
I know. I know y'all think my life is glamorous. I know.
Oh yeah, I lived a glamorous life too. You know.
the maid's on vacation this week. So
Yeah,
you know.
my needs. I'm like, no, I don't need the room clean now.
It's like, yeah. Maid's on vacation this week. We just never let the maid and the nanny go on vacation at one time.
I don't want you to see. I don't want you to see the body.
Put a do not disturb.
Resting for the challenges ahead. MC. MC said, remember left nut, right nut? I had to say left nut. You had to say right nut. And then MC finishes it off. Well, and you're in the middle, so Yeah. Yeah, Ozzy said she'll retell it one day. Yeah, I'd love to
I'd
hear
like
it.
to hear it, Aussie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said you got your brother right where you want him now.
Right in the middle there.
Uh-huh. Look, I'm out. I'm out.
Good.
So is there anything you want to say, Wellen? Anything you want to add? Or just whatever?
I'll probably think of it, when we're off the live,
You'll get prepared afterwards.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I can see this.
Penis in between
Oh, Corey, I think you probably missed that the other night. I was in the middle, and MC's down there saying, Jenny was on one side, and was it Lovely or Charlie Girl on the other side? I don't know. I think it was Lovely. Somebody was on the other side. Maybe Dusty. It was probably Dusty, I think. He said left nut. Gloria would say right nut, and then you say, who's the penis in between us? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just everybody is surviving, and it's the truth has got to be told, and like the topic you mentioned earlier, families don't want to talk about it, but that's the only way that you can get past that point. So it's a lot of emotional turmoil in the process. But if you can work through it, and when you work through it, then that you're going to become a better person.
Yeah. But admitting it and talking about it is the only way to start working through it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do feel bad for those who have their support system, which when you're children, it's your family. When they
Yeah.
let you down, on so many different levels, and then
And then, if you got siblings that are adopted, or and if their father is the abuser, it's it's trying to find that relationship with that sibling. You know what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's never easy, and it's always a process. Even to this day, it's a process because
Right.
one person's action changes the whole family's dynamic.
Right. Yeah, and the siblings that it's not happening to don't want to. They don't see the abuser in the same way that the victim does. Um, like with our situation where someone was being abused, one targeted, not all. So really changes how this, like you said, it really does change the family dynamic, and especially when the truth is out and people still don't want to believe it.
Yeah.
or they believe it and they know it, but they're still turning that blind eye, and they want everyone else to turn a blind eye.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's got to be. I think about that and I think how horrible that. It's just like talk about a rock and a hard spot. Here you got this person that, you looked up to, you admired, and you thought they were one way, and then you find out, oh crap.
And then that the person, the sibling that was abused, actually reminds you of situations, because I forget a lot of stuff, and or I blocked out a lot of things, and it's like, oh well, no, this happened, and then it's like, oh, okay, so now that person has to deal with that issues along with your sibling that's been hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's like you're sitting there racking your brain, like, how did I not know this was going on? We all lived in the same house,
Yeah.
And then when the truth comes out, then you start looking back and you're like, oh God, yeah, this was happening and my perception wasn't the same,
They're crafty like that, though. I mean, let's face it. People who do things like that aren't going to choose a child who is going to fight back. They're crafty. They're crafty in their craft. They have to be. Or I mean, because there's so many times, that's why people are so caught up in the sex registry. Oh, you need to get on there and check your sex registry. No, I don't, honey. No, I don't. Because I'm telling you right now, there are people who are going to commit for the first time those heinous acts. There are people who are doing it and never gotten caught. I don't need to worry about the ones who are on the sex registry, because I'm going to treat everyone out there as if they could possibly come at my child. Right. So, I'm not going to stop protecting my child because there's no offenders that are like anywhere near me or something, because to me that has no weight. It really doesn't. It's like, hey, I guess it's nice to know if you want to know, but I'm still not going to have give someone access to my child. I just don't do it,
Well, I think because there's a grooming process too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Especially in the situation that we're thinking of. And the abuser's really good at it, but that it's not that they pick the weak child or anything. There is a grooming process, and sometimes they pick the one that's at the right age to start it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a process that they go through.
Yeah, they seek them out and they're really crafty in it.
Right.
Did I say that it was a weak child?
No, I'm just
I was gonna say,
making
I think I said quiet,
No.
because they definitely, when you target your victims, like they say, when you're walking down the street, and especially if you're by yourself, which, by the way, I always tell my girls, do not be by yourself. I hate it when they go somewhere by themselves. But, when you're walking down the street, they always say, keep your head up and look around. You look people in the eye because you're the one that they're going to pass over. Most likely, they're looking for, if they're going to pull you over and rape you in the trees, they're usually looking for someone who's not paying attention, somebody who has their head down, and it's the same kind of mentality there. They're just looking for that one who's going to be quiet. Hey, I can work on this one because they're quiet already, and I really do believe that. And like you said, the age. Oh, I can get them at this age because they're young enough, and I can get them to think how I want them to think.
Yeah, I mean, the more vulnerable child.
Yes, exactly.
I don't think it has anything to do with the strength of the child. I really don't. Or, it's just.
Well, I mean, look at it like this. You had already experienced so much, and you remembered so much of what you had experienced. And there was a lot of that was in there. You knew it was wrong. You knew you could fight back.
Right.
He knew that as well.
Right.
So there was no point. He's like, oh, skip over her because I already know she's going to say something. She won't put up with it, Like you said, when children are young, they're so innocent, and, you get them and you can mold them. And some people mold them for really bad things.
Yeah, that's true.
The
way that the children act out sometimes and only supports what the abuser's doing when it does come out. And, how do I word it? Like in the situation that I'm thinking about, the person acted out quite a bit in school and lied about a lot of things. And so the person was painted as a liar when the truth came out.
Yeah.
She lies all the time. He lies all the time. And when really it was just an effect of the abuse.
Yeah. Which, if you think about it, when they abuse, you get them to lie, right? You're lying to them. Yeah. So why would a child not automatically think that, well, if you're telling this story, I can too? Right. So I think it's kind of, you perpetuate it, Right. But yeah, the behaviors are definitely a sign. And like now, I think some of those behaviors, it would have been brought up and it would have been like, hey, what's going on? Teachers, and I'm not saying everywhere or all teachers, but there are definitely some that are a lot more aware of the children and what's going on. And hey, what's up with you? I know the school that my kids are out now, even though we're out in this little country, quote unquote, podunk, they're a lot more aware of my children and how my children are, things they've gone through. Like, we have eating issues, of course, or food issues. And, it was said at school, and one of the teachers said, hey, I hope you don't mind, but I did talk to another teacher and she filled me in because it's so normal to us now. We've been going through it for so many years with them, I did not mention it to her when I went to parent teacher conference, right. And that's bad on me, but for us, it's just become our norm. So it's like, okay, we've learned how to work through it and deal with it. And we're trying to give him the tools to to deal with it as well. But she was noticing he eats a lot and da 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 da. And so she had asked another teacher, and they filled her in. And I was like, oh no, I don't mind at all, because anything that you're doing is helping my child. You're not, and you can go ahead and think you're something. I said, trust me, they eat plenty at home, plenty. I said, it's not that they're starved. It's just they have those food issues, and it's going to be a lifelong lesson for them. That's
Our
just,
brother Ronnie had a real food issue when we first were adopted.
yeah,
He would clean his plate like fast as lightning, and then go for another and go for another until he'd just be sick.
yeah,
It took a while to work through that. It was going to be food the next day and the day after, and
yeah.
that sort of thing. But
I did the same thing, and the psychologist, whoever it was, told my mom, let her eat. She's not going to do any harm. If she gets sick, she gets sick, but she probably won't eat that much. She might have a bellyache, but you just let them eat. Ferocious eating is what they called it.
yeah, and that's pretty much, there were no limits put on him or anything.
Yeah,
It was just that constant reassurance that you can have another meal, and you can have seconds, and you can have thirds, and eventually it stuck.
yeah. The food's going to be there, and that's like I think I told you that, when we ran out of milk one time, I was crying. Boohoo crying, like I was devastated we were out of milk. And my mom's freaking out, like, oh my gosh. She goes, come on, let's get in the car. She put me in the car, and we lived way out there in the middle of nowhere, so it wasn't just up the road to the convenience store. Okay, that didn't happen. It was way up. The driveway was long. I swear it was like a mile long, and then you had to go all the way through the mountains, get down to to the grocery store and go in there. And she said I did not stop crying till we got back in the car with the milk.
Yeah.
I cried all the way through the store, and I was still crying at the register because I guess I thought we weren't getting out the door with it, And so, I was still like, but that's what she did to prove, hey, we're gonna have it, and I'm gonna get it for you. It's gonna be okay, But
Yeah. I know our little sister would, when she was little, she'd carry her plate into the bathroom with her,
yeah.
probably afraid Ronnie would eat it. One of us.
Yeah.
She'd sit it right on the back of the toilet.
Uh-huh.
And Waylon, he would eat in his sleep. He'd sit in the high chair, be dozed off, and
Still getting my food. Don't touch it.
finishing this. I'm too tired.
Yeah. We had one. I think it was Sadie Ann who would take her plate into the bathroom with her. And I asked her one time, I said, what are you doing? And she says, well, I don't want Brantley to get my food. But she was right, because he used to have a really bad problem. He would take food off of other people's plates. So we had to stop. We've had to really work on that. And he does fine now. But
Good.
for a while there, he would really go after everybody else's food, man. And it was like, hey, what are you doing? Leave it alone, And no one was off limits. No one, the babies, no one was off limits. So people learned real quick in the house, hey, watch your food, man.
Right.
Until we got it under control, and we got it where, hey, he started leaving his hands to himself
Right.
on his plate. You have plenty of food, It's not like we don't give them food. They eat more than my big guys do sometimes, It's like, oh my gosh, I don't know where they put it all. Got some hollow legs or something.
Do you ever see, it's an old classic candid camera where they put a little boy and a little girl in a room, and they give the little boy an ice cream cone, but not the girl.
Oh yeah.
So she's like, you're supposed to share. And so he does, and she's like mowing on it. And when it's all gone, they bring the little girl an ice cream cone. And then the boy says to her, like, "You're supposed to share," and she's like, "You already had yours." And they had them as adults in the audience. So they reviewed that. It was hilarious.
Well, that's like Ronnie used to always say. I had to drink your half to get to mine.
Mm.
Hey, let's share this cookie. What happened to it? It's gone. Well, I had to eat my half. I had to eat your half to get to my half.
Yeah, he would do that when the last soda.
Mhm.
Oh.
So, well, you had to look. Jenny, you gonna come back up? Oh, sorry, you put your glasses on for that. Get a little closer.
LOL.
I know. There's a lot of rabbit holes to go down in there. It really is.
As always, this group.
Well, the subject matter, it really is just so much, you can talk about and discuss and like, oh yeah, what about this? And then that's another whole discussion, because there's so much to it. It's so complex,
Right.
Sadly it is, but like,
Well, I just want to say to Waylon, it's been really cool having you up here. We don't get to see each other very often. And I hope you come to more panels and come on over to other channels that we're on.
Jenna's Journey.
And Lovely's going to be starting hers up, and I can't think of all of them, but
I can't wait for Lovely to start hers. I think that's gonna be awesome.
Like when I'm at work and they're live, I just sneak an earbud in. I can't join, but I'll put them on the computer and put them on my phone and instead of mute everything. But I know to put my phone away at 6 o'clock in the morning. So.
Yeah, put it up.
Well, usually I put it on and then I throw it in my purse, so they don't even know I'm using it. But
yeah, well, it's not it's not like there's anything going on, really, just a bunch of chat,
Yeah, there's a problem in the we're going to the union about it. The hospital has decided, or our boss has decided to make the MHAs cross-trained to be ER techs, and they want the ER techs to work as MHAs, and both sides are bucking it because I didn't take an MHA job to be an ER tech, and they didn't take an ER tech job to be a mental health aide,
Yeah.
So I don't think they can force you into another position, but we're taking it up with the union. We have another meeting coming up, but I don't know. Do they really want me drawing blood?
Might be a little scary.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a horrible thing to do, but yeah, I think they're really trying to get the specialized positions kind of crossed out and make everyone, you're going to do it all,
Yeah, I mean,
just make sure you wear your glasses if you're drawing blood.
Right. I'm sorry.
Whoops, missed that vein.
Yeah.
From a distance.
Well,
Yeah.
and the MHAs, they're drawn to do what they do, just the same way that the techs are drawn to do what they do,
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the techs don't have mental health experience, and when we do have to have them back there with us, it can be a mess because they'll set people off, or they don't have de-escalation skills.
Yeah.
I just can see people getting hurt. So,
Yeah, there are a lot of things they need to consider with that,
right.
So hopefully they get it resolved.
Right. And I don't know. There was some talk of rotating people in and out of like 4 hours things, rotation of 4 hours. That would be disastrous. If you connect to a psych patient, it's better that, if you're the one they're trusting, to keep that consistency.
Yeah. Definitely. That just 4 hours isn't a very long shift to be with patients like that.
No.
It's a lot more confusion for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if there are times patients get fixated with you, and then in those times, you rotate away from them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
All right, guys. I think I'm going to end it here because we're going on 3 hours.
Yeah.
Woo!
Hit the like and subscribe button.
Hit that like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss a live.
So, Waylon, we're not scaring you off, right?
Oh no,
Oh, good. So you think you'll come back on?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, just I work every other week, so I work 7 on, 7 off.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
what I
good.
do. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So I start Monday on my 7 days. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Well,
supposed to go back Thursday, but the doctor won't release me.
well, you got to take care of yourself, Laura.
Yeah. Well, if it's improving, I'm just going to leave that note here.
Gloria.
you said it on live.
All right. I love you all.
Love you
Alrighty,
too.
love you.
Love you.
All right, love you.
Love you guys.
Love
Mhm.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Hopefully everybody got a little something out of it, if not just a laugh. Love you guys, and I hope everyone has a nice, safe week because we are on our Sunday, getting ready to head into Monday. Love you guys. Have a good one.